Well, hello everyone and welcome to today's class. I'm Teacher Del and today I'm going to be teaching you about phonetics. We're going to be talking about silent letters and tricky consonants. So let's have a look. But before we do so, we're going to remind ourselves what we learned last time. Okay, so last time it was with Teacher Robin, and basically Teacher Robin, the subject was English for marketing, and she was telling you about what is email marketing, and also she gave you examples of marketing vocabulary. Okay, so I really suggest that you watch the class if, let's say, you've missed it, or if you want to watch it again to practice. It's always good to do so. Then you can do that. All you need to do, you need to go back onto Facebook, you need to go onto the left hand side, just like it says behind me, click onto the video section, and then you'll have a choice of classes, and you can watch this one or some other ones. And also I wanted to tell you, as from now on we are not going to publish the Facebook calendar, so I really suggest that you turn on your notifications so you are always notified about the live classes so you don't miss any. Okay, so let's move on to silent letters to start with. Now, as you know, English is a little bit tricky when it comes to pronunciation, and some of the words have silent letters. That means that we don't pronounce them. They are silent, okay? Right, before we start, we've got some people watching us. That's brilliant. We've got Armando, Bob, Sylvia, and Alex. So welcome to the class, and if you've got any questions, please write in the comments because I'll be able to reply to you live. So let's continue. Silent letters. Okay, first of all, the H. Now you know that in English we pronounce the H when it's at the beginning of a word, but there are some exceptions, and there are just a few exceptions. So for example, the first one is our, okay, so we don't pronounce the H, honor, honest, and air as well. Now the other one I've put US because in American English they don't pronounce the H, they say herbs, but in British English there we will pronounce the H, like herbs. Okay, but I think the ones to remember are like our and honor, honest, very important. Okay, so try not to make the mistake. Then the P, PS and PN are also at the beginning of certain words. We don't pronounce the P in psychology, psychiatrist, pseudo, okay, so we don't pronounce the P at all. And here we say pneumonia, so we don't pronounce the P, and pneumatics. Right, so try to remember that again as well. So it's another good idea would be to watch the class again to make sure that you know. And then finally, let's look also at the basically words that start with a silent W. Okay, these I'm sure you know, you probably do it automatically, but let's look at this list that I've got here behind me. Right, wrote, rap, wrong, or wrist. Everything starts with an R, so the sound R, but in fact we don't pronounce the W here, right? And also the K. Now you know that with the verb to know, okay? So here we don't pronounce the K, like in knock, knife, knee, and knot. Okay, so it's going to start with the N. And then finally here, another one, okay, with the letter G. So again, we don't pronounce with these words and some others. This is just, a shorter list. So gnome, gnat, which is like, that's a small insect if you didn't know the word. A sign, so here it's at the end, okay. Foreign and design, okay. So we don't sound the G here. Okay, now with the B, here, I'm sure you know some of these words. Climb, we don't pronounce the B at the end. Crumb, lamb, and numb. Okay, so no B at the end. We don't sound it at all. Okay, now tricky consonants, and I quite enjoy this part of the lesson because here we're talking about the letter S, right? So because I think students are always thinking in a native language, so if in your native language this S sounds like S, you may think that that's the same in English. Well, not always, because in English the letter S can sound like an S, that's true, but also like a Z and like a Sh. All right, so let's have a look at some examples. When it sounds like the S sound, like cats, hats, shops, likes. Okay, so often it's with plural. So when do we know that? So we know when it's the sound after an unvoiced or quiet consonant. So unvoiced means we don't use our vocal cords. Okay, so if the consonant before that is unvoiced, then you're going to sound the S as S. But the best thing to remember is not so much the rule, is to remember the words, and that the plural sounds like a S most of the time. Okay, so another comment here, we've got El Inicio from Brazil. Where are you from, Del? Well, that's a good question, and thanks for watching. Well, I was born in France, and then I grew up in the UK. Then I went back to France, then I went back to the UK as well. So more or less I'm both, really. Okay, but here we are looking at English vocabulary, English sounds. Okay, now when the S sounds like a Z, like a Z, okay, look, listen. Was, has, beds, his, loves. It's not a S sound, it's a Z sound. So here it sounds like a Z when it's after a vowel or another S as well, or a voiced consonant, when we are using our vocal cords. So here, another rule for you to remember. But like I said, the best thing is to practice and to hear English as much as you can, okay? So that's why I was saying to you, not every plural ends with like a sound, because beds is more like a Z sound, okay? So be careful. And now we have the sh sound. This phoneme behind me, that represents the sh sound, like sure. Okay, we don't say sure, we say sure, sugar, professional, and we have, what else do we have here? We have issue and we have mission as well. So again, it's a sh when it's an unvoiced consonant. So here you've got it. You know that we've got 3 different sounds with the letter S. So now what I suggest you do is when you listen to English, you try to listen to how the letter S is pronounced, and you will definitely learn a lot of English that way. So let's practice together on this. So give an example of a word beginning with the silent letter H, right? This is what we did right at the beginning. I gave you a list and try to think. I mean, there's one that, you know, you should know automatically. So give me an example, maybe 2 if you want. And then second question, what sound can you hear in the word insurance? Okay, so I'm talking about the S, insurance. Is it the S sound or the sh sound? Okay, so come on, write in the comments. If you let's say if you can't do that right now, do it later, because we will check again and we'll tell you if it's the right answer. Okay, so while you are writing your answers and while you're giving me some examples, I'm going to tell you a little bit about ABBA. Now here at ABBA, we've got an amazing course. We've got 144 units. We go from beginners level all the way to business, advanced and business level. And in each unit, you will find a short film. You will find activities around the short film, video classes where we explain the grammar to you, and also an assessment test at the end. So it's a really complete course. You can study, it's very flexible. You can study on your smartphone, you can study on your laptop, your computer, your tablet. You can be maybe on the bus or at home, it's up to you. So lots of different activities, lots of different ways for you to learn English. And if you are a free student, you have access to the first unit of every level for free. But the best option is to be premium, and then you have access to to everything, to each level. And also the best bit about that is you have your own teacher, like Teacher Robin, for example. You can write to Teacher Robin and she will write back to you, giving you tips, helping you, correcting you, this kind of thing. So really do look at our course. It's very good. We also do lots of additional resources for you for free, like these classes, but we do a lot more on Facebook, like quizzes. We have the ABBA journal. This is where we write our blogs, different posts. Every day we have new ones, and I'm sure later we'll be sending you some links as well for you to look at. And also we've got Twitter and YouTube. Another question here has just come up. Okay, Juan, can you explain the is sound in plural, like houses? Yes. Well, it's just like I was saying before. It's because it's got an E and an S, so it's going to be the Z sound. Okay, you can hear House is the singular, so it's a S sound. But as soon as we have the ES, houses, okay? Class, classes. Z sound. Good, okay? Because it's good to notice that it makes a big difference in your pronunciation, and you will sound even more natural. That was a good question. Okay, so I've answered some of your questions, so keep them coming. Right, let me tell you, while you're still writing, let me tell you about next week. Next week you're going to be learning English with music and songs, okay? I mean, this kind of class is very popular because we pick some songs and we tell you exactly how to do, you know, how to learn English. And especially with this lesson today with pronunciation, it's very helpful because you will be able to hear the song and keep it in your head and have the right pronunciation. Okay, so I've mentioned it at the start. We are no longer publishing the Facebook calendar, so please turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the classes, okay? And even if you watch the class later, we will always write back to you, or, you know, if you have any questions. And that's it for today. So thank you very much for your participation. Lots of good questions. It was really important for you to understand the difference between all these different sounds and letters. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you again next week or the week after. Thank you. Bye-bye.